Yeah. Hello and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on time. And today we have a special guest, two special guests. One is Professor Iyer. He's 96 years old. I should say 96 years young, and he is the reason for the reason for which this Mudra classes are happening under his guidance and using his book, the author of whom is Professor Iyer. Welcome, sir, to the session.
Oh, thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
Then the second person is Mr. Lakshminath, joining us from Mysore again. He's my father-in-law. He's also a yoga practitioner from last 20 years. And he also takes classes, physical classes in Mysore. Welcome to the session. Yeah. And my wife, Ramya, who is a certified yoga trainer, could not join this session because she is volunteering somewhere in a vaccination drive in Hyderabad. And I am here in Bangalore. And welcome to all my students who've been enjoying and the benefits of Mudras this whole month of August. And today is our last class. And I'm going to summarize what we learned in the last 7 classes. Today is the 8th class, and what we'll be doing in the therapeutic mudras, and what could be better than having two people who got immense benefit from mudras, especially from therapeutic mudras, right? So let me briefly summarize. So in the first 7 classes of our mudra level 1, we learned Gnana Mudra, which is the king of mudras. We practiced that. Then we did Prithvi Mudra, the ring finger going to the tip of the thumb. Then we did Apana Mudra, mostly for its digestive properties. Then we did Vayu Mudra. Then we did Prana Mudra. Then the last one is Dhyana Mudra, where the hands come at the navel height, and then one on top of the other, and then the fingers touch each other. This was the last one. Men put the right hand on top of the left hand, and women will put left on top of the right hand. So in these classes, we discuss each one in one class of about 40-45 minutes. And I'm so happy that many of you have reported benefits, right? Now to take this forward in September, what we are going to do is we are going to introduce the therapeutic mudras. These 6 mudras that I told you just now, they are broadly called as maintenance mudras. Like even in good health, you do this and then you continue to do having your good health. So it's preventive in nature. But if you have a problem, like nowadays, the problems like back pain, neck pain, headache, blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, spondylitis, you name it, there is a cure in mudra. But for that, you have to do therapeutic mudras. Broadly, what we can say is therapeutic mudra we do only when we have a problem. And we do it for till we get relief, and then we can stop doing that. Okay, so I will just define like that and leave it. Most of these things are coming from the knowledge of direct interaction with Professor Iyer and my father-in-law and reading his book. Right? Those of you who want to order the book, my number is there in this recording on the left bottom corner. You can contact me and then I will let you know how to go on, because it's not available online. It's available only through Professor Iyer, right? So with this background of what we are going to do today, let me set the agenda. So Professor Iyer has to leave in the next 20 to 25 minutes. He has some other engagement. So he will talk about the personal benefits that he got and also show you some of the common therapeutic mudras that are used to get relief. After that, I will request my father-in-law, Mr. Lakshminath, to tell us a case, a use case where he actually helped his neighbor to get rid of a total surgery, a heart surgery, which would have been required if he did not do mudras, right? And it is so inspiring to hear that. And after that, I will talk about diet and food for about 5 minutes, because anything we do If our intake is not correct, and if you do not excrete at the right time, then the body is going to have problems. So I will briefly talk about that. And then I'll also give you examples in the end about how you can benefit from the therapeutic mudras class, which is starting in September. Many of you have joined that, but it is good to give you an introduction of that as well. All right. So now over to Professor Iyer. Sir, thank you very much for joining. If you can share your personal experiences and also share some of the mudras and make us do also if possible, will be very helpful. We'll very thankful to you, sir.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. And I'm glad to speak again with you people. You have already heard the main about the maintenance of mudras. And we shall today talk something about the therapeutic mudras, that is, mudras that are helpful for curing certain of our illnesses, or most of our illnesses, we should say, because it is applicable to all sorts of diseases. Now, whenever we resort to curing, use mudras for curing purposes, we should be very careful. In the first instance, I recommend that you should read the instructions, hints, and suggestions for doing mudras, chapter 4. That is very important because it gives you in detail what precautions you have to take and what are the hints to see that you do a good work or get benefits, maximum benefit out of mudras. That is very important to note. Please read chapter 4, hints and precautions, and that gives you exactly how to do the mudras. Now, curative mudras or therapeutic mudras are restricted to the cure of the diseases only. As long as you are doing for a particular cure, you should do it only for the period for which it is required. When once you get cured and then get well, you must stop it immediately because they should not be continued beyond the curative stage. So please remember that also, because you are unnecessarily provoking the parts of the body which are quite well already. If you do those mudras, you'll be unnecessarily provoking those parts again and utilizing energy unnecessarily. So that is why it should not be continued further. At the moment you get cured, please stop that one. Now, I will tell you some of the mudras which have helped me a lot, and then which everybody can use it whenever they are suffering similarly. When I was introduced to these mudras, the first thing that I was interested is how to cure headache, because headache was my common ailment, and then how to cure the headache. The first mudra that I used for this particular purpose is Nana Mudra. Nana Mudra. That is, the index finger and the thumb are put together, touched together. Please remember, you should not press it too hard. Just touch it there. And also you should not do like this also. That is the pads. It should not be in the pads, but it should be in the ends. That is the points. That is the points of the fingers, 2 fingers like this. So this is Gnana Mudra. This Gnana Mudra is a very effective mudra for not only curing headaches, but anything connected with the mind problems, peace of mind or calmness of mind, or any addictions that you have, or distress that is there, or stress that you are undergoing, depression and anger and so on. So if you are having any problem with the mind, this is a very effective method. This is not only used for a daily practice, but also for a therapeutic requirement also. The therapeutic requirement is when you are suffering from something. When you are normal, also you use it, but when you are suffering, that is particularly for mental problems, you should use this one, Gnana Mudra. Gnana Mudra is a very effective mudra for that purpose. And then you should remember that this is also required, this is a very much needed by the children also. When once you teach your children this particular mudra, their effectiveness will increase enormously. and then their understanding power, their understanding power, their writing power, answering power, and then positive thinking, good behavior, and then not giving to bad thoughts. All these things increase. So if you have children, please sit with them and then do yourself and then ask them to do. Because if you ask them to do only, they don't do it. So please remember that one and then see that your children get the maximum advantage of this, because when once it is made a habit of, then it will live with them permanently and they will get permanent advantages. So they will also disseminate this information to their friends and others. And then that's how a good thing is carried forward also with many people also. So that is one particular mudra. Another mudra, or if you have any questions about this mudra, please let me know. This is such a common mudra that I think everybody knows it, because people who are doing yoga practice also, they also use it as a chin mudra, and then it is quite a common mudra. And in all festive occasions, puja occasions, and then God's positions, all these in all these areas we see this particular mudra, very common. We are used to it, but have not understood that it is also such a curative mudra. So to that extent, it is important and to understand. And then hereafter, at least, you know, whenever you do Jnana Mudra, for what purpose you are doing it, and then you get the maximum advantage. So that is Jnana Mudra. Even if you are addicted to some drugs or even cigarette or some such thing, even for that purpose, it can be used to see that that habit is removed or shortened or completely eliminated. So to that extent, this is a mudra which is called as a king of mudras, because it has so much positive effects on everybody, both children and also adults also. Even in old age, it can be helpful also, especially in old age, because many things we forget easily. So even the forgetfulness also it can cure. So you can remember also what you have forgotten. So to that extent, this mudra is helpful. That is Jnana Mudra. Another mudra I would like to say is many people suffer from ear diseases, some noise in the ear, or some pain in the ear, or some liquid coming out of the ear, or some sort of difficulties are always there. For that purpose, what is called as Shunya Mudra is done. Shunya Mudra is middle finger brought to the base of the thumb, and the thumb kept over it, and not with pressure, but simply kept over that one. So that is Shunya Mudra. Shunya Mudra is very helpful for people who are having ear diseases, ear problems. Even if it is a short-term period of deafness, even that it can cure also. Not hereditary deafness. It can't cure hereditary deafness, but if you are having some sort of deafness, it can also cure that particular matter. So remember Shunya Mudra. Shunya Mudra. Sometimes, in some types, Akasha Mudra also is helpful. The same finger, tips of that brought together like this. Same middle finger. Middle finger, sorry. That is called as Akasha Mudra. Akasha Mudra is also helpful in some cases of ear diseases also. So that is for purposes of the ear problems. And last time I think I have told you mentioned about a particular very effective mudra called as Samana Mudra. Samana Mudra, all the fingertips brought together like this. All fingertips, all the 5 fingertips brought together. This is very helpful for having any pain, any particular part of the body. Supposing you have some particular part of the body, it is paining due to some reason or other. Then you just keep after bringing in the 5 fingers like this, up to this point, on that point, you will see that the pain is reducing gradually. You feel that actually. So that is Samana Mudra. This is a very helpful mudra for me, in fact, resolving, we are reducing many of the diseases also. If you hold it just simply like it. And if you have got scratching problems, scratching, you need not do by the nails, which gives you pain, and also it takes a long time also. Instead, you do this Samana Mudra and see where it is required to be scratched. And at that point, you just hold your fingers like this. No need to scratch, no pain will occur, and it will completely go out. So that is the effect of this Samana Mudra, a very simple mudra and very effective mudra, which is required for in many cases, because you feel like scratching somewhere, sometime or other. And then when you feel like that, use this mudra, Samana Mudra, very effective mudra. And then many people will have throat problems. For throat problems, two mudras can be done. One is what is called as Udana Mudra. Udana Mudra is, except the small finger, all other four fingers are brought together like this. When you bring all the four fingers to contact with the thumb tip, like this forms what is called as Udana Mudra. This Udana Mudra is a very effective mudra. I have seen it, in fact, myself, reducing their throat pains gradually. A number of people I have seen myself, in fact, even for myself also, I have tested it. This is a very effective mudra whenever you have got throat pain.
Sir, if I also can share, when I had when I got affected by COVID, and at that time you had suggested to do Udana Mudra to strengthen the lungs, and I did not get any breathing problems because of that.
That is a great advantage of this Udana Mudra. It releases the difficulties about breathing purposes, the pain that is there, and then especially about COVID, whenever anybody is suffering or expecting to COVID problems, then this is the first mudra to be done, because it clears the lungs, the breathing difficulties, and then pain in the pain also thereof. Those things it will reduce, and this is the first thing to be done whenever a question of COVID redemption is there. Please remember this mudra, a very helpful mudra, Udana Mudra. And then that it takes care of all the problems of the throat, including breathing problems. That is Udana Mudra. Now, another mudra that can be done for not only breathing purposes, but also for the thyroid problems, thyroid difficulties, hyperthyroid problems. For that purpose, another mudra is done, what is called as Shankha Mudra. Shankha Mudra is done like this. Open palm, and then the thumb kept in the middle of the palm, and then the four fingers covering that, and then this other four fingers being brought like this. So it is in the form of a conch, and hence called as Shankha Mudra. This Shankha Mudra is very effective for people suffering from thyroid problems, whether hyper or hypothyroid thyroid problems. So it will, in fact, I have got many instances where it has been cured, and this difficulties of thyroid has been cured. It also sees that all the nerves are kept for properly functioning. There are 72,000 nadis or nerves, as you know, and all these nerves are kept properly functioning whenever you do this particular mudra, 72,000 nadis. And then this also is helpful for calcium problems also. Whenever you have got calcium difficulties, the calcium metabolism also is controlled by means of this particular mudra, thyroid problems. So that is the Shankha Mudra. Instead of this, in this problem, this type of doing the Shankha Mudra, a simpler method is there also. Just interlock the fingers like this, and then bring the two thumbs together like this. Hold the thumbs like this. So this is called as Sahaja Shankha Mudra. Sahaja Shankha Mudra has all the qualities of the normal Shankha Mudra, plus it has also some curative effects of if you have piles problems. Piles also it can reduce the problem of piles. So that is Sahaja Shankha Mudra. Interlock the fingers and then keep the fingers like this. The thumb like this, together like this. So you can hold it against your thighs if you are sitting down, and then just in front of your stomach, hold it like this, and then that will cure most of the problems connected with the thyroids and the parathyroids, and also the throat problems. Also, it relieves pain in the throat also. Now, many people are suffering from BP, blood pressure. The blood pressure problem is easily solved by the index and the middle finger brought together like this. This is called as Vyana Mudra. Vyana Mudra. So this Vyana Mudra takes care of the high BP or the low BP and balances it. Vyana Mudra. This Vyana Mudra is also helpful for students because whenever they are getting sleepy, then do this Vyana Mudra. Then that sleep can at least sleepiness can be controlled to some extent at least. So students can remember this particular mudra, Vyana Mudra. So BP can be controlled, and this also can be done in another way. That is the middle two fingers kept in the palm, bent to the palm, bent in and kept in the palm like this. This also can be used for BP. Very control of the BP. This also is very effective to control blood pressure problems.
No.
Then another problem that we commonly meet with is this diabetes. Diabetes is controlled by means of Apana Mudra, which you already know. Apana Mudra. This is middle two fingers brought together to the tip of the thumb. So this is Apana Mudra, which should be the major mudra to be done for diabetes. And then it should be followed by means of Prana Mudra, which also you know how to do Prana Mudra. So the ring finger and the small finger tips brought together like with the thumb like this. Apana Mudra, that is Prana Mudra. So Apana Mudra, which is the first important thing to be done, and then followed by Prana Mudra. So at least about 15 to 25 minutes must be done per day, 3 times a day, and then followed by the Prana Mudra, at least 10 minutes, at least to be followed by that one. That is for diabetes. For diabetes, you can also do Surya Mudra. Surya Mudra is also effective against diabetes. Surya Mudra is done by means of bringing the ring finger to the base of the thumb, and the thumb kept out that one. That is Surya Mudra. Surya Mudra, this is very effective against diabetes and also against people who are fat, that is reduction of fat or weight. So that also can be, this mudra can also be used for that purpose. Fat reduction, that is weight reduction, and also for diabetes problems. Diabetes problems also can be brought down like this for that purpose. That is for diabetes.
Sir, I just want to remind you, it's 11:25 now. So you can, if you have more time, you can go ahead and tell some more. Otherwise, I will ask the students to ask you some questions. They'll be very happy to share what they gained also.
I'll tell you one more mudra and then stop there and invite questions. One very important mudra is what is called as Apana Vayu Mudra. You do Vayu Mudra and then Apana Mudra together. This is a very effective mudra in the modern days at least, because most of us are living in flats and then we have to get up the stairs many times when the lift gives way. And then in that you do this mudra, and then to whatever level you have to go, you do this mudra and then go there you will not have that breathlessness. You will not have that breathlessness or the tiredness after you go. You will become normal very soon, very soon. That is the effect of this particular mudra. A very effective mudra. That is Vayu mudra plus Apana mudra together. Apana Vayu mudra as it is called. This small finger kept straight. Now, another effective, very effective mudra, very effective that it has is for people who are suffering from heart problems. All heart problems, this is one very effective mudra. Mruta Sanjeevani mudra, as it is called. That is even if it is as good as taking out of a person out of the jaws of death. To that extent, it is well known, and this is called as Apana Vayu mudra. Now, whenever anybody is having a heart attack, he himself is not in a position to remember to do this mudra. And then what you should do is the friends or relatives that are with him must bring their fingers into this position and then hold it there and see that it is held there. Now it will postpone the heart attack until the time doctor comes. It gives sufficient time for the doctor to come. It is as good as giving a first aid injection. And then the friends or the relatives can hold the hands of the person who is suffering into this position until it is relieved, until he gets relief, or the doctors comes and then attend to it. That is the effect of this Apana Vayu mudra. It is good. In fact, this is one effective mudra which is also used. Which is also used very frequently by people who are going for hacking, that is for people who are hitchhiking and going up the hills and then going down the hills and all that. If you are doing this particular mudra, I think Mr. Lakshminath will have a personal view about that, and he can give you in his own instance as to how he went up the hill 3,600 feet or so higher, and then coming down also without any problem or any effect or any pain or any such thing like this. So it has, to that extent, it is helpful for people who are going out for visit purposes also, which is up and down hill. That is the thing. So that is another one. And I have experienced quite a good deal in many times also. For example, we went on a tour, a short tour. We were visiting Shravanabelagola and Hampi and all those places. Shravanabelagola hill, in fact, at 85 years of age, I could climb up the hill and then come down also, explain to our followers as to the importance of those places, and then be with them, come down without any effect of going up or down. So to that extent, this mudra is very helpful. I have been benefited out of this in many other instances also. For example, in Melikote temple also, I climbed up the hill quite ahead of all other followers also, doing this mudra, which has helped me a lot. In many other cases also, and also whenever you have got pain in the abdomen, especially on the left side, you please do this mudra, which is extremely helpful to you. Now, please, for questions, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. All the people on the Zoom call, feel free to express and share with Mr. Iyer what you benefited. And also, if you have any questions to ask about some personal health issues, please go ahead and ask now.
So you spoke about Apana Mudra and Prana Mudra for diabetes, right?
Yeah.
So we also know of type 1 diabetes, which is, or juvenile diabetes nowadays, which affects younger kids.
Yeah.
So can the same mudras be followed for that, or do we
Definitely. No, definitely. It can be followed because the nature of the disease is the same. That is the glucose problem.
Right.
So nature of the disease is being the same. You can use it either for type 1 or type 2. Both are applicable.
And these mudras, how long do we need to do if you're using it for therapeutic purposes?
Yeah, for therapeutic purposes, it all depends upon at what stage a particular disease is. If it is in the initial stages, you can do it 3 times a day, about 10 minutes or 15 minutes each time. That is sufficient. But if it is in advanced stage, you have to do it for 45 minutes at least. So it depends upon the state of the disease. If it is very serious, you have to do it for 45 minutes every day, and then twice a day or thrice a day. So that determines the time factor is dependent upon the disease, the extent of the disease, rather.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. If any other questions to Professor Iyer?
Yes, sir. Actually, you said a mudra regarding the deafness and short-term deafness, right? Normally, for aged people, they are not able to hear. Well, they will be benefited with this because I see this problem who is 94 years in my grandmother. She don't have any health issues except this.
Please explain again.
Yeah, let me tell that, sir. She's telling there is a person who is 94 years and they're having hearing issues. So they're asking, she's asking, I think it's Pratyusha. Pratyusha is asking if the Akasha Mudra that you suggested, will it be helpful for the hearing?
Akasha Mudra can be used, or Shunya Mudra can be used. Shunya Mudra is better.
Sorry, Shunya Mudra, I'm sorry. It is Shunya
Shunya
Mudra.
Mudra is better. Shunya Mudra can be done.
Okay for 94-year-old person also, sir?
Yes, sure. It is independent of age factor actually. It can be done.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, then we'll go to the next part. Sir, do you want to continue on this call or do you want to log off?
No, in another question, Siddhartha, any other disease that people suggest? I think ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ.
Sorry, sir. So what Professor Iyer has to drop off the call now. So if you have any questions for any diseases, then he can answer, and he said he will drop off the call. Anything more to ask him?
Yeah, I just want to say my heartfelt thanks to the Iyer sir and also to Brother and others for this session. And I received your book, and we are really very thank you.
Another one mudra that I would like to tell you about is Varuna Mudra. This Varuna Mudra is a very fantastic mudra. In fact, I have got great relief from this particular thing, and I am indebted to that particular mudra because any sort of this skin disease, you can certainly completely get it out of your body by doing this Varuna Mudra. Varuna Mudra is bringing the small fingertip to join the tip of the thumb. Varuna Mudra. This is an excellent mudra for people who are suffering from skin diseases, including psoriasis or any eruptions that are there and something like that. In fact, I have got great relief from a severe disease that I was suffering from skin diseases, and that has solved completely solved my problem, and I am completely rid of the problem at all. I am completely free out of it. That is Varuna Mudra. Varuna Mudra is hydrating mudra. It hydrates the body, hydrates the skin and the body, and then this is very effective for that particular purpose. And any skin problem, please remember this one, Varuna Mudra. It is a very good mudra for that purpose. Very good mudra. And then also, whenever you have got urination problems, excess urination or excess water in the body, and like that, then in that case, you can do what is called as Jalodhara Nashaka Mudra. Jalodhara Nashaka Mudra, the same finger brought to the base of the thumb, the tip base to the thumb base, and that is called as Jalodhara Nashaka Mudra. This is also very effective. Whenever, in some cases, whenever you feel like urinating urgently, like that, it can postpone the time. It will it dehydrates and postpones the time required. So that is Jalodhara Nashaka Mudra, opposite of Varuna Mudra actually. Varuna Mudra hydrates the body and Jalodhara Nashaka Mudra dehydrates it. That is it. So remember this also. Even if you do this per day, about 5 minutes a day, it's quite all right for you. You can certainly see that the skin problems, even however small it may be, or advanced it may be, it can reduce, it can take care of that one. Varuna Mudra. That is the thing.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. If there are no other questions, then we'll go to the case study about how my father-in-law solved somebody's heart issue. They had a block, and with Apana Vayu Mudra, with Professor Iyer's consultation, and he personally visiting them, they solved that problem. So if there are no more questions, we'll move to that. All right. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Namaste. We are very happy that you came live on the class.
Oh,
and then, yeah, we are so inspired by what you are doing and the book that you said. Do you have the new book? Do you want to say something about the new book?
This new book, which is the 5th edition, is a revised one, which contains some extra diseases also. It covers almost 143 diseases. I have whatever I have thought about the common diseases that are occurring in our environment with the people suffering from that one. I have thought over that one, and whatever I could remember and then see or hear about it, I have included most of them. And then you find almost all types of diseases that we hear about and are suffer about. And this thing that is one of the important additions that I have made. So the previous one I had about 120 or so, 21 or 23. Now I have added some 22 more diseases, and then it is very easy for you to find out your disease if you are suffering from anything. God bless you, God forbid. So if you are suffering from anything, unfortunately, you can find out easily that particular type, either in the index, which is also revised, or in the list of diseases that is there also. So in both areas you can find, and then the relevant mudra that is indicated also, that is there. In selecting the mudra, if there are alternatives that are given there against a particular disease, please remember, each person has got his own type of individuality, and what one is good for one man may not be good for the other. I mean, it may not be as efficient as that for the other. So find out which mudra gives you the best results out of 2 or 3 alternatives that are given. Then it will be all right. Then you will get the proper mudra.
Okay.
Excuse me, shall I take leave of you? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Welcome. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Thanks, Ganga. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We will continue the class with Mr. Lakshminath, and then we will end it in the next 15 minutes. If you want to drop off the call, please do, sir. It's okay.
Thank you.
Just give me 1 second. I think he may not know how to log off. I'll just remove him from the. Okay, so now I would just give you a brief background. Mr. Lakshminath is here. Sir, if you want to unmute your microphone. So I am so happy to have a father-in-law like him. And he is at this age, I mean, age is nothing. He also says age is just a number, and he lives that life. And he's so inspiring to our whole family and extended family. He's been doing yoga for 20 years. Now Mudra for many years, and he is the first person who actually went to Professor Iyer, and from that point onwards, we also got introduced to Professor Iyer and we saw the book, and now we are totally into using mudras as our doctor at home. I would request Mr. Lakshminath to talk about his neighbor who went, I'll briefly tell you, but he'll tell the details, who had block in his arteries in the heart, the coronary arteries. So an angioplasty was done, and then they, angiogram was done, and then they checked the blocks, and then after that, angioplasty was suggested, but with Apana Vayu Mudra, he did not have to go through angioplasty, right? So I'm over to Mr. Lakshminath for the details.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. I am doing yoga from last 20 years. I have been teaching yoga from last 8 years, and last 10, 12 years, I have been practicing mudras. And 4 years ago, I got introduced to Mr. Iyer. We have been together. We are doing a lot of helping each other in mudras and other things also. That's the thing. What happened was my neighbor, Mr. Krishna Kumar, he had a heart, some pain in the heart. So I told him, it's all right, let us see, waited. Then one day we went to the Jaideva hospital here in Mysore. Jaideva hospital, they checked up.
Oh, I think for some reason he has dropped off.
Some problem.
Oh, okay, please share.
The Jaideva hospital here, Mysore, they examined him and told him that you have to have an angioplasty, angiogram and an angioplasty. There's a blockage in your heart, so that has to be done in your blood vessel, that has to be done. Then both of us thought, let us have a second opinion. So we went to this Colombo Asia hospital same day. There also they checked up and said, it's better you get admitted immediately. Within 2 days we'll do the angioplasty, angioplasty. And they said, they told these are the things. Then when we discussed, and he discussed about the costing, he told it will come to about 3 lakhs. So he said, then I'll have to consult my insurance people, whether how much they'll be giving and all the arrange for everything. So we went to the insurance people. They said they had to get something from Madras and all that. So it took some time. Meantime, while returning home, I just told him, you do this Apana Vayu Mudra. According to me, you do this Apana Vayu Mudra. Apana Vayu Mudra. It's Mudra. Vayu Mudra and Apana Vayu Mudra. This will help you, I told him. So he did it, but then his people said, no, you just consult somebody properly, really, you have to have it. I said, okay, we'll go to Mr. Iyer. I took him to Mr. Iyer. He also suggested, what he has said is correct, we'll do Apana Vayu Mudra. It took nearly about 8 days for getting the clearance from the insurance company. He was doing this Apana Vayu Mudra. And after the insurance company confirmed about his how much he's going to get and all that, we again went to Jaideva hospital and we went to Colombo Asia hospital. There they checked up and said, no, your blood vessel is very clear. You don't have to do any angiogram or angioplasty. That's the thing. I just read out what he has himself written. I am Krishna Kumar, age 62 years, residing at Vijayanagar, Mysore. During September 2019, I had some pain in the chest. Along with my neighbor HSL, we consulted a heart surgeon. After examination, I was advised to get angioplasty done due to blockage in blood vessel. We wanted to get a second opinion and consulted Colombo Asia Hospital, Mysore. They examined and confirmed angioplasty is required and also advised me to get it done at the earliest. I came to know that the surgery would cost approximately 3 lakhs. I wanted to consult my insurance company. In the meanwhile, my neighbor, Mr. Lakshminath, asked me to do the mudra and took me to Sri DVS Iyer, who suggested me to do Apana Vayu Mudra. Accordingly, I started doing this mudra. Thanks to the delay in the insurance company answering my queries, I had another check after doing Apana Vayu Mudra for 10 days, and doctors confirmed that angioplasty is not required as the blockage has been cleared. Thanks to Mr. DVS Iyer for the advice, because of which I saved hospitalization in nearly 3 lakh rupees. I'm continuing to do the mudra and keeping. This is the thing. And also my experience, I tell you, I am a vivid traveler. I travel a lot. So when we went to many hiking and trekking and all those things, we went to, first thing was, the toughest trekking I did was Yamunotri. There also I did not have a problem because I kept my hands in Apana Vayu Mudra. Then again we went to this, next one was this tiger's nest in Bhutan. Then we had to travel nearly, hike nearly about 6 kilometers. And then you had to get down 170 steps or 170 and climb up 770 steps. I did all that without effortlessly because of this Apana Vayu Mudra. Then we last 2 years ago, Mr. Gangadhar took us to Meghalaya. Then we went to this naturally formed double-decker bridge. The approach to that bridge is 3,500 steps downwards. Then you have to come back 3,500 steps. Believe it or not, when I came back, without any effort, I could do this trekking. This is my real experience of Apana Vayu. Whenever I go for a walk or whenever I go for any, even here in Mysore also, I regularly go for this marathon and all those, this walking marathon and all that. I just keep my hand like this and walk. I never feel bad. Please, I claim, I never used it lift. We were staying in 4th floor. Unless I'm carrying anything heavy or anything, I just keep my hand in Apana Vayu Mudra and climb. This is a very good mudra for walking, climbing uphill, climbing the staircase and all that. That's it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for explaining so nicely. So this such one second. Yeah, such case studies are so important to bring out the real benefit of mudras, because you all might have just started using it, and some of you still might be wondering, "Arey, this works, not works." It's okay to be in that space. Okay, but once you also get one strong benefit like this, and we have been witnessing benefits like this for ourselves and for others repeatedly. So we've got so much of trust and faith in this that we know it will work. It's just a matter of time. So if you have any questions, please ask him. Otherwise, we'll move to the next topic for today, which is the food and diet.
Yeah, just one question. This is regarding the Apana Vayu Mudra. He also did it for 45 minutes, right? Like Professor Iyer said, like for therapeutic purposes. So is that 45 minutes? Was he doing it like once a day or like 45 minutes multiple times?
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it one stretch. If you want, you can do it for 45 minutes, one stretch in the morning. Otherwise, you do it for 15 minutes, followed by 5 minutes of Prana Mudra. Any therapeutic mudra, it will have more effect if you follow it with Prana Mudra for 5 minutes. So you do 15-5, then afternoon you do 15-5, evening you do 15-5.
Okay.
For 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So
the reason I asked was, no, there was a friend's husband. He actually had a mild heart attack last week. And so this is what I actually gave him this information, and he is following this. So I just wanted to confirm regarding the duration.
You give us a feedback also. That will be more important for
sure, definitely. He already felt better the very next day after starting that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Rajini, what I would also request is for such cases where there has been an immediate impact, and now we are trying to solve this through mudra. He or you can get direct access to my father-in-law. because like the question that you had, that person will have many more questions. At least you attended the class. He may not
Right.
even understand, right? So either the recordings or a direct access is available to my father-in-law. Mr. Iyer is very, I mean, he has some specific times and all that. So usually we, unless it is very critical and he says, no, for this case, I want to talk to that person, we don't go to him. It's up to you. You just let me know if you need access to my father-in-law, we can make that possible.
Also, it will give them the confidence, I think,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
talk directly rather than coming through.
And faith. You must have
Yes.
faith in it.
Yes, so true.
That is most important.
All
Thank you.
right.
If Mudra is the engine, faith is the fuel for it.
Yes.
Very nicely said. Yes, right. And I also, before going to the next topic about food and diet, I would like to tell one more
Okay, thank you.
simple thing Mr. Lakshminath actually told me yesterday or no, 2 days back. So we said in the first class, we learned that hands are the control panel and it controls the various Panchamahabhutas. So this is balance, tip to tip, correct? Fingertip to fingertip is balance. If you put it to the base of the thumb, it decreases, right? So it decreases that element. Like for example, this is Vayu. When you put it here, it decreases that element. So if you see like this, it's like D. So D is for decrease. Okay, you can remember it like that also. He's very good at those things. He teaches my kids also how to remember various things. Then if you, this is increase. So if you keep like this, it's naturally like an I. Or take any other finger. If you do like this, it's like an I. So this is increase, this is decrease, and this is balance. All right. So thanks for this one. So thank you, Mr. Lakshminath, for all the insights and sharing the case study.
And I just want to express my really thanks to Brother like Lakshminath sir. It's nice to have father-in-law and son introducing each other.
Contact anytime, no problem.
Nice to
Okay.
hear you more and more. Really, we are blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tulasi. Yeah, thanks. So I will be meeting him tomorrow night or day after tomorrow also. We'll be staying some time, and I hope to, while during the therapeutic mudras, I'm very happy that I'll be in Mysore. I mean, during those classes, I'll be in Mysore, where maybe I'll have some sessions along with Mr. Iyer. I'll go to his house and probably have the sessions so that it becomes more and more effective. Because I am also learning. There's a lot I have learned in the last 3 years, but every time I sit with Professor Iyer and with my father-in-law, there's something new to learn. So that also is coming out nicely. So let's see about that. So now moving to the last topic of the day, which is about food and diet, right? And I'll be as brief as possible because it's a vast topic. If you want to go in different aspects of it, it will keep on going for a long time. So basically what, again, my father-in-law and Professor Iyer, I take as example, is they clearly say that you do yoga and you do mudras, whatever, there are so many other things that you can do. Unless the intake and the outgo, okay, is proper, okay, your body will always suffer. Okay, the relief that you get will only be temporary. So let's get this straight. Okay, we are what we eat. Okay, and it stands true. We are what we eat, right? Now, one or two things that I would like to tell, which is easy to implement in life, or which I feel has worked for me. I won't say it is easy for everybody, but it has worked very well for me, is eating at the right time and eating twice a day instead of thrice a day. Or nowadays the food is available everywhere, isn't it? So much food is available in front of us that without our knowledge, every 1 hour, every 2 hours, things are going into our mouth without our knowledge. I used to be like that. So in the last 6 months, from February onwards, I am eating only twice a day. And the time that I have chosen, again, I'm saying that there is no particular time that anybody should say that this is the best time to do and all that. I don't believe in that. So after seeing how my body feels hunger, basically I took hunger. If I'm hungry, I should eat. So once breakfast at 8:30, a good heavy breakfast, and usually homemade breakfast along with fruits. Okay, this I used to have. Even during travel also somehow I managed, because during this trip, this February to now August end, I was traveling for 80 days continuously. Okay, in various parts of Sikkim, Northeast, Kashmir, and all that, Udaipur, and all that, right? Even during that time, I managed to do this, 8:30 breakfast, and the next meal will depend on when I'm feeling hunger. Usually, it will be at either 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So I wanted to experiment, not fix a time and then stick to the time, even if my body is saying, oh, you need food or you don't need food, right? So I experimented like that. So nowadays, now that I am at home, I eat by 2 o'clock along with my kids and wife, the second meal. Or if I miss that, I don't feel hunger, then I eat my last meal before 5 p.m. at any cost. After that, from 5 p.m. to next day morning 8:30, nothing except water. Okay. And to keep it flexible, 1 or 2 days, let's say that some snack, I like groundnuts a lot. Okay, salted groundnuts. Okay, I love them a lot. We should eat food that we love. So when it comes and suddenly it comes, let's say at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it's okay. I will eat it at that time also in the night, and then I'll sleep 2 hours later. Otherwise, every day I sleep between 8:30 and 9 p.m. And then I get up at 4 or 4:30 a.m. Okay, so this has become a very good, what do you say, a routine for me. So something like that, I also encourage you to figure out what works for you. Okay, is it 2 times? Is it 3 times? Doesn't matter, but your digestive system has to get rest. Right? If you keep on eating and then do apana mudra, for some time apana mudra will work, right? But if you are abusing our system, sometime it will give in. So that's the basic part. Then what to do? One is the time at which we eat. Also, I have changed a lot about how I eat, right? Previously, it was like watch TV, have phone in my hand and all that. I changed that whenever possible. Sometimes it's not possible to do. It's okay. It's not a hard rule that I can follow given the life that I lead. So whenever possible, I take my plate, I sit down, okay, in Sukhasana, and then I have the plate either on the table. We cut the table also to the height where we can sit down. In our house, it's no more a chair. We don't need a chair to sit on the to eat on the dining table. And then I eat with my hands, which is always, even if I go out also, I eat with my hands. And I do this 32 times, chewing it. Every mouthful that I take, 32 times I chew. I used to count, but now it has become such a habit that until it becomes a slurry in my mouth, because a lot of digestion happens and your stomach is expecting a little bit semi-digested food. If you eat too fast and then it just goes, it is going all undigested food. This part of the digestion is lost. Right? Then obviously problems will percolate, right? So slowly realizing all these things, how much ever possible, I'm implementing those things. Then even for when I get up in the morning, 4:30, first thing is drink water. I won't say 1 liter because it doesn't work for me. If it works for you, very good. But I drink around maybe 300 ml to 400 ml. And I have seen that if it is made a little bit warm, okay, instead of cold water or normal room temperature, a little bit warm, then I am able to drink more. Okay, and I'm very clear here. I'm sharing my experiences. Okay, because I am also learning in all these things. I will not say that this works for everybody, but these are good habits. That is, I'm very sure about. Right. So try some of these. Okay, and then the way we need to ensure that the toxins and the waste is also excreted out of the body. So that means going to the bathroom immediately within 5 to 10 minutes after getting up. If we are not throwing away all our waste out of the body, that means we have a digestion problem and we have some other problem. And this is one of the main reasons. Keeping the waste in our body for a long time is again an illness causing problem. Okay, so please take care of this. And freshly cooked food, okay, which is very important. It's like we got used to again fridge and all that now. So many houses, what happens is we prepare fresh food, we take it after 4 or 5 hours, or morning food we take in the evening. Try to figure out if that is possible that you cook 1 or 2 hours before you have the meal, and then that cycle has to be broken, that we keep some food or some sambar rasam in the fridge. Next day again we cook fresh food, but we eat the old food, and then this fresh food goes again to the fridge. That cycle has to be broken so that you are always eating fresh food. It makes a big difference, and it has made a big difference to me. Okay, tremendous difference, I would say. The way I think, the way I'm alert. the sleep, the amount of sleep that I require has got reduced because of all these things. And there is no absolute hunger in the night. I got used to it now. My body knows that I don't need anything. Only again morning 8:30 only hunger is there. And mind you, in the morning when I get up, I do 1.5 hours of yoga, and then I go for a walk for 45 minutes doing mudras. After that, I have my breakfast. It's not that I just get out of sleep. So the body knows, the body understands. 2 times food is more than enough, and I'm giving such good rest for my digestive system. So the quality of food, vegetables, fruits, naturally, as less cooked as possible. That's all I would say. I will not go into rice or wheat or what we need to use, because that's all up to us, where we are, what we are used to from childhood and all that. So I'll not go into that. So with this, I would say that thank you very much for all the sessions that you've attended on mudras, and please do make it a part of your life. Let mudras, the maintenance mudra, 6 mudras that you have learned. I'll repeat again. Gnana mudra, then Prithvi, Apana, Vayu, Prana, and Dhyana mudra. Right? So all these 6, we also discussed what times we have to do, how to do, and all that. Isn't it? We have done it in the class. So please make it a part of your life. You will get 100%. Be assured that you will get the benefits. Okay, it will be preventive for you. And those of you who not yet signed up for the therapeutic mudras, feel free to let me know. Most probably, it will start the next week itself. Not most probably, it is going to start next week itself. And you can let me know how you want to go about it. If any questions are there or anything you want to share, I can hear that, and we can close the class.
Yeah, just one experience which I would like to share.
Yes,
So
please.
since we are all practicing yoga, actually I have delivered my first baby in 2017 with an unwanted C-section. Without my knowledge, just I didn't believe in my body. I just believed the doctor and went blindly. So the second time when this awareness came, I decided this time, let me do my thing. Let nature decide or God decide what will happen. Let me try. So the second time it was in 2020, and my delivery was normal without any pain, nothing, just through yoga. Only through yoga. And I did it, I used to do it only for an hour in a day. And this I've done continuously. And I started it only in the month, a 7th month. From 7th to 8th month, without any pain, nothing, no tension. I just delivered a baby very happily.
Very nice.
Happily, and that was the thing, and with good lifestyle.
Okay, very good.
And this
Thanks for that sharing.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure at any point of time, if somebody asks me about this, you are the one I'm going to contact, because you have done it.
Yeah,
right?
sure. I am very happy to do that. And now I feel that these mudras would have benefited more by at that time, but it's okay. Things will come when we think only.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Thanks, Pratyusha. Anyone else?
There's one other thing I would like to share, sir, because we did Dhyana Mudra. Yeah. And it was yesterday that you taught.
Yes, Dhyana Mudra was yesterday.
Yesterday, right? Right. So yesterday night, actually, my friend, I mean the wife of the person whoever had the heart attack, right? She herself was very disturbed, I think, because she was concerned about her husband. And she called me in the night. She said, I am feeling very uneasy. I felt it was more mental, anxiety related. So I suggested she do the Dhyana Mudra, and I did a video call with her and showed her how to do. And she called me in half an hour. She called me to tell me that she's feeling much better, but she was still a little tired. So then I suggested Prana Mudra. So again, after an hour or so, she called me and she said she's absolutely fine. So just wanted to share that with you.
Excellent. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. So you are the brand ambassadors of Mudras now. Thank you. So correctly, you have suggested both the things, Dhyana and Prana Mudra, for removing tiredness. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. All right. So thanks everybody. Who else is there in the call? Let me see. Srikanth is still there. Srikanth is here. His father-in-law is there. Swati Shri joined, but I think I can't see her video. Srikanth is a silent observer, but he does everything. He keeps me updated on WhatsApp.
Yeah. In fact, I got the book from Mr. Lakshmana. Thank you so much, sir. So I started reading the book. It's super helpful already.
Very good. Very good. All right. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody. Yes.
One last question
Yeah.
regarding this Prithvi Mudra. So it has two functions, right? One is for this weight gain and one is for this your premature graying and hair loss. When we do this mudra, we should think in mind that we are doing mudra for this particular purpose, right? So
Yes.
because so many things are there which will be benefited. So with that particular vision only we need to do, right?
Yes, it will enhance the benefit. Yes.
Yeah, because I see a lot of hair fall after I suffered from corona. So I see a lot of hair fall. So whether I am thinking because of corona it is doing or whether I know, I started doing this Prithvi Mudra from past 5 days.
All right. Yeah. So you're doing it for 45 minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes followed by Prana Mudra for 15 minutes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll share my stories soon.
Yeah, let me know.
Works.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll keep the WhatsApp group so you can share in the WhatsApp group also. All right. Okay. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Namaste Lakshminath sir. Namaste Gangadhar.
Okay, namaste. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Lakshmina. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye.